Okay, so what stresses me out? Um, Last year when I was a junior, definitely school stressed me out. Um, it was, I was just constantly overwhelmed, and that feeling of never being able to catch up and be on top of it, having all your ducks in a row, that's really stressful junior year. But for me this year, it's definitely relationships because I have a lot more time that I can devote to my friends and to social things. And while that doesn't seem stressful, I think all the focus on relationships has really made it kind of difficult. And what stresses me out these days is honestly like what people are saying about me, um, if other people are standing up for me, am I being misunderstood? And yeah, I think that is like, I think there's relationships, and then also if you're talking about right at this moment, um, social justice issues are really stressing me out. And it doesn't seem like a thing that should personally stress me out, but it really does. Um, because I think sometimes I I feel so personally attached and personally involved to um, big world issues. And that's definitely stressful because so much of that is out of your control. I try to like do everything I can, but so much is out of your control, and that stresses me out. Yeah.
Awesome. And so, what does it feel like in that moment? Picture you're really stressed. What happens to you physically, mentally?
Okay. Well, I think if you're talking about the relationships, all right. I think there's like two types of stress for me. I think there's like stress and anxiety, and the anxiety is when I'm like in the moment where I'm like having a lot of tension with like a friend or just anyone, and I just don't, we're all in school together right now, and there's no way of, you know, I- I'm, I have a while until I'm going to be in college, and then I'll just have a fresh start. But right now, I have to still talk to these people and be around. I don't know if I'm saying this right. I just mean like when I'm in the moment of anxiety, like when I hear something that someone said to me or said about me, that
Fred Wilson, please come to the main office. Fred Wilson, please come to the main office or call 2500.
um, when I'm in that moment of like finding out about something that's happened and with one of my friends or something, that's really anxiety for me. Or when I'm in the room with someone, that's when I like can't. I just get jittery and I can't focus and I have to talk about it with someone. And it's interesting because I actually find that usually like when I try to talk to somebody about it when I'm anxious, I think sometimes I'm so quiet or something that they're just like, "Oh, you're fine." But on the inside my mind is just going crazy, and I'll go up and be like, "This is really bothering me." And they're like, "Oh, well, But I think there's the stress, which is just I think of stress as like an overarching thing, which is just like when I actually think about everything that's going on, it's just, and I'm not in that situation at the moment, like right now, if I'm thinking about all the stressful things that are happening, I'm nervous about it and I'm not happy about it, but I think part of like how I cope is that I learn to just separate myself, and I try to let myself be upset when I'm upset, but I don't think it really bothers me as much anymore. I think it's the initial finding out when something bad happens. That's what's like anxiety. And then afterwards it's like really annoying and like I don't love talking about it, but it's just a little bit of stress, if that makes sense.
So you sort of put it in the big picture.
I mean, kind of. It's not even that. It's just like I have no control, and you can't. I read this quote the other day that was like, you can't stop at every dog that barks, and that's like sort of my mentality right now. I'm just like, what, I just gotta keep moving forward.
Awesome, like a juggernaut.
What?
Like a juggernaut. All right.
Is that
Anything else? That's awesome for me.
Okay. Awesome.